Toyota is continuing to expand their Crown brand lineup with the first ever Crown Signia, which you can see here is a wagon. They're calling it an SUV though, which is the same thing that Subaru does with its Outback. Now these two wagons guised as SUVs have a lot in common with each other, so I thought it would be a good idea to make a video where we compare the respective features and benefits of both. That's what's coming up, so stick around. Now, before we get into the features and benefits comparisons between the Crown Signia and the Outback, I want to rant for a second about this whole notion that we have to keep identifying these vehicles as SUVs and we can't call them wagons, or at least the automakers won't call them wagons. They are. Wagons had that elongated shape. They were built as a car, but with a different purpose. And just because, it's an older style that maybe previous generations grew up with doesn't mean they're not viable. And technically, to call these all SUVs is wrong anyway, since by definition, an SUV was or is a body-on-frame design. I remember once having to write a magazine article for a parenting magazine where I tried to break down all the categories, and the poor editor was so confused when some SUVs were called crossovers and crossovers were called SUVs. It's nonsense. But these vehicles, these wagons, are wagons. They're unibody design, so they're built like cars and they're functional. It's the same thing with minivans. Kia won't call its Carnival a minivan, even though it calls it an MPV, which is really a multi-purpose vehicle, which is exactly what minivans were. Same thing with wagons. So it just bugs me that we're afraid to call them wagons. But I'm still calling these two vehicles wagons. I don't care what's in the magazines or on the brochures or on their websites. And now let's take a look at these two wagons and compare the benefits or the features or the differences, or let's just look at these two wagons and how they stack up. Comparing these two vehicles is one that offers a number of interesting opportunities, as not only is it a chance to measure specs and features against each other, but it also gives us a chance to look at how each automaker has chosen to position and market their respective models. The Outback for Subaru has always been a uniquely branded vehicle that almost intentionally looks to create a niche within the midsize crossover utility segment. Go to the Outback page on Subaru's website and you'll read their Outback's description as it's the uncommon adventurous vehicle with a genuine go-anywhere capability. You can see that Subaru positions the Outback as that right choice for those who seek adventure, but in a useful and practical presentation. Now, by contrast, Toyota has chosen to position the Crown Signia in a more refined manner. Their website description reads, effortlessly tranquil, beautifully designed, and remarkably distinctive, and offers polished performance complemented by the versatility of standard all-wheel drive. Now, it should be noted that the Crown Signia is also a complementary addition to the Toyota Crown, with the Crown being designed as a sedan and the Crown Signia as a wagon, SUV. So while body styling makes the two deserving of a comparison, based on how they're being respectively positioned, they are trying to attract different target buyers. But despite the differences in marketing and targeting, these are two models that those who appreciate the look and practicality of elongated, lower height passenger 5-door vehicles will see them as comparable, or at least in my view they will. With respect to size and dimensions, there are some interesting things to note when comparing the two. The Crown Signia has an overall length that's 3 inches longer than the Outback, but also happens to be 2 inches shorter, thus giving it a more wagon-esque profile overall. This is also reflected with each wheelbase, as the Crown Signia's 112.2 inches is just over 4 inches longer as well. Both vehicles do have a bit of a lifted look to them, but for different reasons. With ground clearances of 8.7 inches and up to 9.5 inches with the Wilderness trim, the Outback stands at a minimum of 2.5 inches higher than compared to the Crown Signia. But that difference is offset somewhat by the fact that the Crown Signia rides on large 21-inch wheels compared to 17 or 18 inches with the Outback. These exterior specs, in my view, align each vehicle properly with the target customer each automaker has in mind. The Outback just looks more suited for adventure, while the Signia comes off as more stylish with its longer and lower profile. Now on the inside, despite having a shorter overall length and wheelbase, it's the Outback that provides the roomier interior, with about 12% more passenger volume compared to the Crown Signia. This results in more front and second row legroom, as well as more headroom for those in the Outback by comparison. And cargo space also tilts noticeably toward the Outback, with over 14% more cargo space when the second row seats are folded down, and a very impressive 31% more cargo capacity when looking at just what's available under the liftgate. There is also more versatility with interior trims and options with the Outback compared to the Crown Signia. Where powertrains are concerned, neither vehicle is going to be known for their power or performance, but nobody should be under the assumption that they should be. Both have enough power for what they're intended for, but there is a significant difference in how they manage to do so. While the Toyota Crown Sedan is available with two powertrain options, the Crown Signia is only available with a Toyota hybrid drive system. It puts out 240 net combined horsepower through the combination of a 2.5-liter dynamic force 4-cylinder with EV mode and a permanent magnetic synchronous motor. By comparison, the Outback offers two different 4-cylinder engine options, but a hybrid is not included among them. Base models of the Outback come equipped with a 2.5-liter direct injection 4-cylinder boxer engine that puts out 184 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. Upper-end trims receive a 2.4-liter turbocharged boxer that offers 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. You would also expect to see a difference in fuel economy because of the different powertrain systems, and indeed the difference here is notable. The hybrid drive system of the Crown Signia offers an impressive posted combined fuel economy rating of 6.2 liters per 100 kilometers, or 38 US miles per gallon. By comparison, the 2.5-liter Boxer in the Outback has a posted combined rating of 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers, or 28 US miles per gallon, which is 35% less efficient compared to the Crown Signia. It's worse when you go to the higher output 2.4-liter turbocharged Boxer, as its combined rating of 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers, or 25 US mpg, is almost 52% thirstier. Opt for the Wilderness trim and some of its additional off-road capable features, and that fuel economy drops even further to a difference of 64.5%. So if fuel economy is a primary motivator here, well, the Crown Signia is the choice, hands down. And pricing is where I'll try to make a final comparison, but doing so isn't necessarily easy. Now, I say this because the Outback has always been offered in multiple trim levels, with Canadian buyers having 7 trims to choose from and 9 trims available to those in the US. By comparison, the Crown Signia is offered in only a single trim for Canadians with one optional advanced tech package upgrade, and there are 2 trim levels offered for American buyers. So what I'm showing to you here is the range in MSRP pricing for both models and in both countries, understanding that there is a greater diversity of trim options for the Outback when compared to the Crown Signia. All right, so what do you think? Am I right? Is this a wagon, or should they stick with the SUV? And let me know which of these two wagons guised as SUVs, the Toyota Crown Signia or the Subaru Outback, that you would choose if you were in the market for one of them. Let me know in a comment. Why don't you like this video while doing so and share it with others? If you're not subscribed to the Novak Report, please consider doing so. And if you are, make sure you're ringing the bell so that you get notified of every time I upload something new. That's it for now. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching.